There are millions of kitchen gadgets on the market. Most of them promise to change the way you cook. Almost none of them do. I've tested enough products to know the difference between genuine innovation and clever marketing. And before I walked into my friend's kitchen, I wasn't sure which side of that line the Thermomix TM7 would fall on. I want to be clear about something first. I wasn't at a showroom. I wasn't at a polished sales event designed to make everything look effortless. I was standing in a real kitchen, watching a Thermomix demonstrator work through a live session with real ingredients, real timings, and no staging. What I saw genuinely changed my thinking. The Thermomix is not a new idea. The first model launched in 1971, over 50 years ago. Vorwerk, the German company behind it, had been refining the same core concept across 7 generations. And the TM7, which is what you're watching right now, is the most advanced version they have ever produced. But here's what's interesting about that history. Most kitchen appliance brands reinvent themselves every few years because the previous version wasn't good enough. Thermomix has evolved because their customers demanded more, not because the machine failed them. That's a meaningful distinction. The machine looks serious the moment you see it in person. Not complicated, serious, in the way that well-engineered things carry a certain weight and presence. The ribbed exterior, the precision of the bowl assembly, the solidity of the lid. This is not a plastic appliance that ends up in the back of a cupboard after 3 uses. This is the kind of machine people reorganize their kitchens around. And the number reflects that. Over 8 million households worldwide own a Thermomix. Germany alone accounts for more than 2 million. When a new generation launches, the waiting lists run into the tens of thousands. In France, where home cooking is taken seriously at a cultural level, Thermomix has become a household name in the truest sense. That is not the behavior of a product riding a marketing trend. That is a machine that earns its place and then stays there for years. The question I walked into with was simple. It's actually worth it? By the end of this video, you'll have my honest answer. But first, let me show you what it does. The TM7 does something that no other single kitchen appliance does. It combines weighing, heating, blending, chopping, stirring, steaming, emulsifying, and dough kneading in one bowl. Not one after the other, simultaneously, where the recipe requires it. Integrated precision scales weigh directly into the bowl, accurate to the gram. So there are no separate weighing bowls, no extra washing up, no moving ingredients from one vessel to the other. Everything happens in the same place. The heating element reaches 120 degrees Celsius and holds temperature with extraordinary accuracy, which matters for things like tempering chocolate, making custard, or cooking sous vide style at precise low temperatures. The blade system runs at speeds from a gentle stir all the way up to 10,200 RPM, fast enough to make nut butter from whole nuts in under a minute. And the kneading function replicates the action of hand kneading bread, though, which, if you've ever made bread by hand, you'll know is one of the most time-consuming tasks in the kitchen. Now, the TM7 introduces something that no previous Thermomix had, a fully detachable touchscreen tablet. This is not a minor upgrade. The tablet removes completely from the machine and travels with you around the kitchen. You can read your next step at the hob, check your timing at the sink, or prop it up on the worktop while the machine runs, unattended. It sounds simple. In practice, it changes the entire experience of following a recipe. That tablet connects to Cookie-Do, Thermomix guided recipe platform, which currently holds over 95,000 recipes across 40 countries. And these are not just ingredient lists. They are fully guided, step-by-step recipes where the machine sets its own temperature, speed, and timing at every stage. You are not interpreting instructions and hoping for the best. The machine manages the process. You manage the ingredients. What you're watching in the bowl right now is exactly that in action. The demonstrator added the ingredients, selected the recipe, and the machine has been running the process from that point. No standing over it, no adjusting the heat, no second guessing the timing. For anyone who cooks regularly, and especially for anyone who cooks for a family, the implication of that is significant. It doesn't just save time, it removes the mental load of cooking entirely. The cleaning system is worth mentioning too. The TM7 has a self-cleaning cycle. You add water and a drop of washing up liquid, run the cycle, and the bowl cleans itself in under 2 minutes. For a machine used multiple times a day, that matters more than any single feature. One of the features I wasn't expecting to be impressed by was the My Week meal planning system, and it turned out to be one of the most compelling things about the TM7 ecosystem. What you can see on the tablet screen is a weekly meal planner. You choose your recipes for the week, breakfast, lunch, dinner, however you want to organize it, and the system automatically generates a consolidated shopping list based on every ingredient across every meal. Not individual lists per recipe, one unified list adjusted for quantities, ready to take to the supermarket or sent to a delivery service. For a household cooking from scratch most nights, that is not a small convenience. That is an hour of planning and mental effort every single week handed back to you. The recipes span every cuisine and every skill level. What matters is that they're tested, they're accurate, and the machine follows them precisely. The mushroom risotto, the pizza bianca, the beer-battered fish, all visible on the meal planner during this session, are the kinds of dishes that would typically require constant attention at the hob. With the TM7, they don't. You prepare, you load, you walk away. The machine tells you when it needs you. Now, the honest part. Because this is what Clara loves, and honest is what we do here. The TM7 retails not cheap in the UK. That is a significant sum of money. I'm not going to pretend otherwise, and I'm not going to tell you it's right for every household. If you cook twice a week and rely heavily on ready meals, the math probably doesn't work. But if you cook most nights, if you have a family to feed, if you find yourself spending significant time and mental energy on meal planning and preparation, the calculation looks very different. Here is what I will tell you. The people who own a Thermomix almost never sell one. The second-hand market for these machines is active, but the sellers are almost always people upgrading to a newer model, not people who tried it and gave up. In the world of kitchen appliances, that is genuinely unusual. Most things depreciate in value and in enthusiasm. This one doesn't. I walked into that kitchen skeptical. I walked out understanding why 8 million households made this decision and why most of them would make it again. Every product makes a promise. This one keeps it. Find it via the link in bio. And if you're not subscribed yet, do it now, because this is exactly the kind of find I look for every single